to formatting, right? So these all link to control and a key for different things. So control semicolon will give you the current date. Now, I should take a moment to also say, you may not know this, but in Excel, every value in Excel has a numerical value. So if I take this date and I change it to the numerical value, you'll see that it's 43,293. That value traces back to 1900, which is when numerical serial values started for computers. So, or that's when they started the tracking period. So basically, whatever the value is, every day has a precise numerical value, which is helpful to know, because if you have something like July 12th, and you add 1 to it, you'll see that it adds up correctly, right? But you could also do things like division and multiplication and so forth. You just need to know that it has its own serial number. So control semicolon draws up the current date. Control 1 brings up the formatting window. So when I was showing you all that stuff about clicking and doing currency and doing percentages and borders and so forth, one way to do it is to do it the manual way that I did with this clicking, and I did that just to show you how that can be kind of cumbersome. A much faster way is to just press Control 1. Control A selects everything in the worksheet. So if you want to change everything, just press Control A. A good example of that would be, so Control A and clicking in the upper left-hand corner here do the same thing. That would be a good candidate, for example, if you wanted to center everything by row. If you have multiple work areas, Control A will just select the closest one. So clicking in the upper left will always get you everything. But you'll see here, I have a distinct table from here. Another reason, again, to have good formatting. In this case, the Control A selects just this table, and if I press it a few times, it gets wider and wider, right? Control B, I think you guys know all these ones, put something in italics. Control B puts something in bold, I beg your pardon. Control I puts it in italics. To the question about inserting a link, Control K allows you to insert a hyperlink if you have to, but again, only do so if you absolutely have to. Control S obviously saves, and Control U underlines. Control 5, if you end up being an occasion where you need to use it for something, is strike through. Control P is obviously print, and Control Z is undo. Control F3 goes well with the point I was making earlier about naming cells. So if you press Control F3, this is all junk because of samples I've done before in here, but ignore that. If this was a new workbook, right, you'll see there are no names. So let's say that I made a name for something. So I called this cell Awesome. And did I save it? Oh, shoot, I didn't save it. Sorry. Awesome. So now this is cell Awesome, and I'll put the value 5 in there. If I press Control F3, Control F3 keeps an index of all the values that you've named. So if you wonder what you've named and what values you've duplicated or changed, you can see where they are. Control page up and page down goes between worksheets. We discussed that. I can use it now, in fact, to delete all this garbage. Whoops. See, everybody makes mistakes, even when you've done it for a long time. That's fine. I'll just hold Shift and select them all. And finally, if you have two Excel workbooks open, so let me open another one again. Control Tab switches between different workbooks. So those are all the control functions, the main ones. Any questions about all of those?